Hello everyone, this is The Last Word and I'm Maria Shakil. Singer Diljit Dosanjh has challenged authorities across India to ban liquor. While performing in Ahmedabad last evening, he also declared he would not sing songs on alcohol since Gujarat is a dry state. Singer's strong remarks came after the Telangana government directed him not to promote alcohol, drugs and violence in his songs ahead of his Hyderabad concert. The singer, who is on a Dil-Luminati India Tour, then tweaked his songs Lemonade and Taara, but called out double standards by the authorities. After mixed reactions from the crowd on whether liquor is banned in Gujarat, he said he would be a fan of the Gujarat government if it had indeed imposed prohibition on liquor. Then came his challenge to the other states, where he said, and I quote him, "You close liquor shops across the country, I will stop singing songs on alcohol." Actor Kartik Aaryan, in fact, came out in support of the singer. Remember, this controversy is part of a larger conversation about artists influencing cultural norms. On one hand is the fact that targeting celebs is easy, and often governments aren't mindful of their own policy and administrative responsibilities, and they blame it solely on social responsibilities of celebrities. Let's first bring in the story and then I bring in the guests.
एक खुशखबरी है, आज मुझे कोई नोटिस नहीं आया।
Singer Diljit Dosanjh at a Dil-Luminati show in Ahmedabad on Tuesday challenged the authorities to ban liquor and start a Dry Nation movement, declaring that he would then stop singing songs with any mention of alcohol.
इससे बड़ी खुशखबरी और है, आज भी मैं कोई गाना शराब पे नहीं गाऊंगा। पिछले 10 दिन में मैंने 2 गाने डिवोशनल निकाले हैं, एक शिव बाबा पे और एक गुरु नानक बाबा जी पे, लेकिन उसकी बात कोई नहीं कर रहा। हर बंदा टीवी पे बैठ के पटियाला पैक की बात कर रहा है। भाई, मैं अलग से किसी को फोन करके नहीं बोल रहा कि आपने पटियाला पैक लगाया कि नहीं लगाया, राइट? अभी गाना गा रहा हूं, मेरा एक गाना है, 2 गाने हो गए ज्यादा से ज्यादा, 2-4 गाने, मैं वो भी नहीं गाऊंगा। आज भी मैं वो गाने नहीं गाऊंगा, कोई टेंशन नहीं है। It's very easy for me to tweak the songs, bro, क्योंकि मैं खुद शराब नहीं पीता। It's very easy for me. एक मोमेंट शुरू करते हैं। ये अच्छी बात हुई, इन्होंने ये बात उठाई है। जिस अगर ये हमारे पूरी स्टेट जो है, जितनी भी स्टेट्स हैं हमारे यहाँ, अगर वो सारी अपने आप को ड्राई स्टेट घोषित कर देती हैं, अगले ही दिन दिलजीत दोसांझ अपनी लाइफ में कभी शराब पे गाना नहीं गाएगा। मैं प्रण करता हूं, हो सकता है ये।
This after the Telangana government had issued him a notice ahead of his show in Hyderabad, asking him not to sing songs promoting alcohol, drugs and violence.
You know what it is mentioning, you are requested for not using children on stage during live show in Hyderabad or in Rajkonda area on 15/11/2024, and not to allow singer Diljit Dosanjh to sing alcohol, drugs, violence promoting songs during live show on stage. In the interest of the society, the government of Telangana is taking all precautionary measures not to encourage any drug culture or alcohol or violence.
The Telangana Chief Minister has declared zero tolerance for drugs in the state.
As far as Mr. Diljit is concerned, when he says that he wanted to declare Telangana as a dry state during his performance, this shows how inefficient the Revant Reddy's the government is there, because the pubs have been opened until 1 p.m. 1 a.m. in the night. People are going in and around the city drinking without any alcohol tests. We see a lot of drug menace is just going on. This statement is really affecting the people. That means the Telangana government is not capable of controlling the alcohol and the drugs.
Telangana's Women and Child Welfare Department had issued the curb notice to the hugely popular singer after a complaint from a Chandigarh professor who had claimed that Diljit had sung such songs at his Delhi show in October. In Hyderabad with camera person Nagaraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
We have Mayank Shekhar, who is an Indian film critic, Lata Srinivasan, author and entertainment journalist. Gurashish Singh is a singer. We'll be also joined by another singer in just a bit. But Mayank, starting with you. In the fiscal year 2022-23, the excise revenue for the Telangana government was approximately 35,944 crore. And this, of course, revenue comes primarily from the sale of alcohol, which includes excise duties, VAT on liquor and license fee, and the levies related to the regulation of alcohol. So what is the state government talking? Did they pick a wrong guy?
Well, I don't think it's the wrong guy. I think it's the wrong question. And if you have a wrong question, no matter what the answer is going to be a wrong answer. There is a person who is singing perhaps about alcohol. There is a whole tradition of gazillion ghazals which are about jam, right? There is Madhushala. What is Madhushala by Harivansh Bachchan? Is the house of wine, as sometimes used as metaphor for something larger. So where do you stop and where do you begin? So clearly, if alcohol is the problem, and it can be, and certainly is in the case of lots of people, but forget about alcohol, even food that triggers cholesterol in the body is a problem. Sugar is a problem. I mean, if you're going to constantly make laws about things you can talk about or sing about, then there is no end to this. Eventually, it's going to be about entertainment, and that's really what Diljit does. And that's really nobody else's concern.
But Mayank,
beyond that.
Here the question is there really glorification of alcohol, particularly given the fact that he is a popular artist who influences young minds, and given the cult that he enjoys, his audiences are younger in nature, and hence he has a bigger social responsibility?
Well, I suppose that would be true for a lot of entertainers, and Diljit, in fact, might be getting singled out for much lesser crimes. In that sense, if you consider these things crimes in the first place, I mean, you have an entire hip hop genre, which is we've actually seen an incident that took place in Punjab, and which is really about violence, which is a very strong one, and drug culture is a very strong one, where it's part of the lyrics of songs. I think it should certainly be spoken about, should certainly be talked about. Banning one Diljit Dosanjh in Telangana is certainly not the solution.
Okay. If banning is not a solution, then Lata, the larger question is, are celebrities an easy target? Because the state government cannot really ban alcohol, so you ban songs on alcohol.
Absolutely. But then I think, if Telangana was going to ban Diljit from singing songs about alcohol and violence, then what about all the films that glorify, misogyny and violence against women and so on and so forth? Telangana hasn't done anything about that. So then people will start raising that question. So I think this issue, they're seeing it in a very narrow-minded fashion. In fact, Punjabi, the songs, the Bhangra songs, which they sing about alcohol or guns or so on and so forth, is also part of the cultural narrative in Punjab. It's rooted there. It's not that they just suddenly decided to start singing about alcohol and therefore they're doing it. And irony is that, there are Bollywood celebrities who also own alcohol brands. So singling out Diljit seems to be a very narrow-minded perspective of the whole thing. I think Telangana, if the state was really concerned, they should look at what's happening in their own state and in their own films before, they start talking about a singer who's coming from outside and who's very popular. I think he is a soft target, and they're just trying to, make a big issue out of nothing.
And Gurashish, one will also make this argument that Diljit isn't an artist who, endorses liquor brands. There are a number of those who have done that. Then why should he be, made to explain his position and a controversy around him exist at all?
Well, I think probably one of the facts, because Dil-Luminati Tour and Diljit in general is the talk of the town at the moment. He's taking Punjabi music to a very global stage.
Yes.
So anything associated with someone at the top it is definitely a topic of debate for many. So as I had said in my last interview day before as well, that I think this is nothing personal related to Diljit, but I mean it's completely fine if the government had asked him to not sing songs about alcohol. I didn't see that as a problem. So
you
hit
find Diljit's response a problem then?
No, I loved the response as well, to be very honest, because I think it's somewhere motivating everybody to think about this, right? Because today youth is misguided in a wrong direction. A reason why we end up looking for an additional support through these external substances, alcohol, be it drugs, is because somewhere you can't handle life. ठीक है, doing it for just a leisure activities is a very different topic altogether. But I believe that somewhere being misguided, that these things are going to lead you to a happier life, right? That in itself is a topic of debate.
Okay, since you are a singer yourself, tell me, do singers actually feel that their content or lyrics actually is capable of promoting a culture? I mean, in society, people drink. It's not really banned per se in most of the states. Then why should artists take on themselves that they have to be correcting a society? From their point of view, what is really a correction here?
Well, I believe that, see, as artists, you definitely influence a lot of the younger generation, because the songs, when they get catchy, चार bottle vodka, all of that. So वो मुंह पे चढ़ जाता है, और फिर वो कब activities में और habits में result करता है, you don't know the impact it creates, right? So obviously, saying this, it's not personally against any artist or anybody for that matter. But yes, answering your question, does artists do influence a lot of habits in the young generation these days?
Okay, so they have greater responsibility then, Lata. If artists are influencing so much, then the state governments can absolve themselves and they can continue to have excise duties and make money, while artists are not supposed to be singing songs around it.
Yeah, I think it's a double-edged sword.
Yes.
Artists, obviously they do take responsibility, and now, when they show smoking on screen, you have a line that says, smoking is
injurious,
whatever, dangerous for your health, and so on and so forth. But like you said, the excise department, on which every state government heavily depends on, themselves promote alcohol, and they sell it to anybody above the age of 21. And then on the other hand, you're telling celebs, oh, you need to be responsible and tell people not to drink. I think yes, they should have said, celebrities should say, please tell the youth, say no to drugs and so on. That, I think, is more impactful than telling celebrities, don't do this, don't sing about this, or don't portray this. There are films about alcoholism and, drugs as well that one gets to see. Does that mean that they're automatically promoting the culture? No, obviously not. They just reflect society. So I think the way the issue has been handled, I still have a problem with that.
Okay, so when you say the way it has been handled in terms of the reaction of the state government?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think, how can you ban, one particular artist and hold him responsible for the entire country, for the entire nation? It just seems ridiculous. You can request him. That's a different thing. But going to court and issuing a ban seems to be going to great lengths to achieve what at the end of the day? At the end of the day, you're still selling alcohol. People are still out there. People are still listening to his songs. He's still going to be extremely popular, and you've achieved nothing and just created a controversy. Instead, you could have used him, gotten him on board to say, hey, listen, say no to drugs, don't drink excessively, and things like that, and put out a positive message is what I think.
Okay. So, did the Telangana government get its messaging wrong, Mayank?
No, absolutely. I think eventually the point is this, right? It's not like the state in general or the government in this nation in general has not responded to the menace adequately. I mean, they have. For instance, liquor advertising is banned in India, right? Of course, there is surrogate advertising that happens alongside, but that's a call that they took. Uh, Despite that, is drinking a part of Hyderabad's culture? Forget about anywhere else. Is it part of Hyderabad's nightlife? Hell yeah. Have you hung out in Hyderabad in the night? It's part of the entertainment of a particular society. You can have issues with the excesses of it. And I think I completely agree with Lata. If that is an issue, then you can use these artists who have such amazing following to issue public service messages about saying no
You
to
know, one
drugs, which is
argument can be, Mayank, that art should be free from moral constraints and that it invariably reflects aspects of diverse experiences. It's about human experiences. And Diljit Dosanjh, who is a Punjabi singer, is talking about a society where consumption is commonplace.
absolutely. I think whether you like it or not, no matter how hard you try and how many legal cases you put on people, art will inevitably end up reflecting the society we live in. Is liquor consumption huge in Punjab? Hell yeah. Is it going to show up in music or in the movies that reflect that society itself? I mean, look at Bollywood. So much of Bollywood is reflective of Punjabi culture as well. These are, of course, lots of them are migrants, okay, but it's very much part of the drinking is very much part of the Punjabi culture, and has always shown in the movies, and sometimes in ways where it seems odd too. Like you have songs like "Main alcoholic hu," but people laugh at it, and that's how it needs to be seen. And is there a larger problem? Yes. Is this the way to address it? Hell no.
Okay, but can this be seen actually as glamorization of alcohol?
If it is, it is. You know what I mean? And there are ways to reverse it, to curb it, and that is through public service messaging, which is very different from art. Art will reflect the society we live in. There's nothing we can do about it.
Okay, I have just enough time for final comments from everyone. Mayank, continue to be with us. Gurashish, coming to you. You know, when artists like you, singers like you, actually get the lyrics and start working on it, you are doing what in terms of lyrics? It is reflection of the society where we live in, or is there too much of a moral responsibility and a moral burden as well? Because you realize that all of you are popular singers, followed by millions, and most of these are the young generation which gets inspired, and they'll take your word as gospel truth. I mean, I'm saying that in a matter of satire, please. Yes, go ahead.
See, I mean, talking about art in general, honestly, it's not just about the reflection of society, I believe, but also what an artist feels personally. You know, if an artist is going through a bad phase, he'll talk about sad songs. He'll make a sad song. I'm actually a singer songwriter myself, so I write about what I feel. What I feel about life, what I derive from emotions, and when I meet people, when I learn about life, I write about that. So again, concluding my statement here, as I said, that youth is misguided into the wrong directions. I found this right direction at the age of 20. I met my mentor, Master G, who's now a motivational life guide to so many youngsters. He's taking people out of depression and anxiety and addictive substances. So as Mayank also clearly said, public addressal of such activities and, inspiring the youth to rather learn something new other than, saying that alcohol ban karo, wo apne aap moderation mein aayega if you end up learning more about life. You wouldn't be dependent on something.
Tell me. Since you are a singer, I want to understand again from you. Gurashish, so if you say that, excessive drinking is bad, you think actually the youth will understand that and they'll stop drinking?
No, I totally believe that, even when you have to teach somebody something, you need to tell them, you need to show them something better than what they are used to having, right? You can't tell somebody not to do something, right? So you have to show them a better way of life rather than imposing something. I think that's the way I have learned things. Whenever my mother said, "ये ना करो," वो हम सबसे पहले करते थे, right? Teacher बोलते थे, "यहाँ मत जाओ," वो सबसे पहले. So when there is a curiosity, when there is a ban on something, when it's said that something is not good, rather you have to promote the positivity of life, like how to handle life without getting addicted to the substances. And because वो 4-5 घंटे 6 घंटे के हाई के बाद आपकी प्रॉब्लम्स तो सॉल्व नहीं होने वाली है, right? So this is one of the reasons why I've also stepped out of my own career, took out conscious time to as I mentioned, promote some teachings of Master Ji, going to schools, colleges. And yes, we are seeing a change in the youth today. We've addressed more than, I think, 2,000 students in the last 2 weeks as a part of his mission 800 crore Master Ji's, so yeah, I mean, this is a good time to tell.
At the end of the
share my
day,
heart.
an entertainer has just the responsibility of giving great entertainment. He doesn't have moral responsibility. That's my stand. But yes, Lata, go ahead, and then I'll give the last word to Mayank.
So I think, the funny thing is when we talk about celebrities influencing the youth, Diljit himself doesn't drink. Right. And he's very clear about that. He says, I don't touch alcohol. I'm not I don't drink. So I think that sends out a very big message in itself, rather than saying, oh, he's singing about alcoholism or, drinking, and therefore everybody's going to pick up a bottle. The fact that one of their own idols is not a drinker, doesn't touch alcohol, I think that is a big influence in itself. So,
yeah, so it should end at his songs and his words rather than, making it and getting into an unnecessary space and clearly an unnecessary controversy. Mayank, entertainers, should they have a moral responsibility, and should that be seen as a moral authority? Who is a moral authority here?
Well, it depends on what we are imposing our morality towards, right? And I think alcohol can be a contentious debate as well. I mean, it can be a responsible pleasure for lots of people. It can be a societal taboo in certain societies too. In India, we're a bit in the middle so far as drinking is concerned. So far as I know, India is not a prohibition country. There are a couple of states which are prohibition states, including Gujarat, where Diljit was performing. I think I found it odd they picked Diljit of all the people. I mean, if you really want to go and look at the representation of alcohol in our popular culture, you'll have to start with Ghalib first. I think some of the best poetry on drinking has been written by Ghalib. So what are you going to erase Ghalib to start with? And, so, I mean, one has to be a little lighthearted about these things too. We can't take everything so seriously. And every drinker is not an alcoholic, and every alcoholic does not suffer from liver cirrhosis. So, basically we need to address exactly what we're talking about and what the issue is. In this case, it might just be pure entertainment and fun. Are people going to Diljit's concert after pre-gaming and having drinks with their friends and then going? Hell yeah. So that's what it is. And that's what he's singing about as well.
Yeah, I think it should be about pure entertainment here. And the larger question about cultural representation, artistic freedom, and social responsibilities of celebrities is something that we have taken up on the show tonight. So thank you so much for joining us, Mayank, Lata, and Gurushish Singh. That's all from me. Thanks so much for watching.